Imagine your grandparents hid $100 bill in a jar, and you found it today. It is still $100. Nobody took a cent. But it buys a fraction of what it did back then. Nothing was stolen. The money just quietly got weaker. That is inflation, and almost nobody explains it properly. Welcome to BabyRacoon. Today, BabyRacoon explains inflation in the simplest way there is. Most people think inflation means prices go up. That is true, but it hides the important half. Prices going up and your money buying less are the same event, described from two ends. The price tag grows. Your money shrinks. Same thing. So why does money get weaker? Here is the simplest picture. Imagine one pizza and 4 people. Now imagine the same one pizza, but 40 people. Each slice gets thinner. Money works the same way. If there is more money floating around, but roughly the same amount of stuff to buy, each dollar has to stretch thinner. That is the classic cause, more money chasing the same goods. But it is not the only one. Sometimes there is not enough stuff. A bad harvest, a shortage, an oil shock. Fewer goods, same money, and prices climb anyway. Both roads end in the same place. Your dollar buys less. Now here is the part that genuinely surprises beginners. A little bit of inflation is not an accident. Central banks aim for it. Most target somewhere around 2% a year. They are not trying to get to zero. They are deliberately steering for a slow, gentle leak. Why on earth would anyone want that? Because the alternative is worse. If prices fell every year, you would delay every purchase. Why buy today when it is cheaper next month? Everyone waits, businesses sell less, people lose jobs, and the whole thing spirals. That is deflation, and it is much harder to escape. So how do they even measure it? They take a basket. A pretend shopping basket with the things a typical household buys. Food, rent, fuel, transport, a haircut. They price that same basket over and over and watch how much more it costs this year than last. Which explains something you have probably felt. The official number says one thing, and your life says another. If your basket is mostly rent and groceries, and those rose faster than the average, then your personal inflation is higher than the headline. The average is real. It is just not yours. Now the part that actually costs you money. Cash sitting in a normal account is quietly losing. If your savings earn almost nothing while prices climb a few % a year, you are not standing still. You are going backwards slowly in total silence. Some people call it a silent tax, and the comparison is fair. Nobody sends you a bill. Nobody takes a cent out of your account. The number on your balance never drops. It just buys less every year. It is the one cost you can lose money to without ever noticing a transaction. Let's make it concrete. At about 3% a year, prices roughly double in around 24 years. Think about that. Over a working life, the same coffee, the same rent, the same weekly shop can cost double. And your money, sitting still, halves. Which is why the wage part matters so much. If prices rise 3% and your pay rises too, you got a raise and you got per. The number on your payslip went up. What it buys went down. Always compare a raise to inflation, not to last year's number. So, what actually protects you? Not a mattress. Not a jar. Historically, things that grow tend to outrun it because businesses raise their prices too. When a company charges more, its revenue rises with inflation, and owning a slice of that company means your money can rise with it. This is exactly why saving alone is not enough. Cash is for the money you need soon and for emergencies. It should be safe and boring. But money you will not touch for decades has a slow leak in it if it just sits there. A quick warning though, because balance matters. Inflation is not always a gentle 2%. Some countries have lived through prices doubling in a year or a month. When money loses value that fast, saving in that currency becomes almost impossible and life gets genuinely hard. Gentle inflation is a design choice. Runaway inflation is a catastrophe. So here is the whole thing in 3 lines. Inflation means your money buys less over time. A small amount is normal and intended. And cash left alone for decades quietly shrinks. And your portable rule for today. Do not ask how much money you have. Ask what it buys. That question ignores the number and looks straight at the thing that actually matters. So if inflation is the leak, the obvious question is what fills the bucket faster than it drains. There is a video on exactly that, and it pairs perfectly with this one. Watch that next. If BabyRacoon made inflation finally click, subscribe. One money idea, explained simply every week.